Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to all of the Libras out there. If you are a Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, this is your tarot reading for the upcoming month of April of 2025. In case any of you are interested, I will be using my Spirit Song Tarot deck. Dun, 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 dun. I love her so much. I hope you guys will as well. So, with all of that said, let's see what Libra has in store for April. All right, Libra, this is fascinating. It was a fascinating read. So the first card that fell out, which I'm actually not surprised about, considering all of the transits moving through Pisces and Aries right now, almost directly opposite whatever Libra placements you have, we have the Tower. Fell out first, fell out straight up, like facing upwards. So I saw it as soon as it flew out. Second card that fell out upside down. So I didn't see it immediately. That means it's an energy that's not as apparent to you right now. Is Judgment, Awakening, the Peacock. One of my best friends is a Libra, and I always say her energy reminds me of a peacock. So that's that. And then all of the other cards are reversed. We have the Nine of Pentacles reverse, the Wheel of Fortune reverse, the Six of Pentacles reverse. This is the one that fell on the ground. If you saw, I had to reach down and grab one. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Star reversed. And this goes with this message too, the Three of Wands reverse under the Star. So lots and lots and lots of changes and transformations. And I think it's not only external changes, I think it is internal as well. You are moving through a lot. And again, I said it's not surprising that the Tower fell out first because we had this insane Pisces, what would you call it? Like stellium, I guess. I think we're 4 or 5 planets in late degrees of Pisces in the last couple weeks. And then we had the Aries eclipse, which is actually happening this upcoming Saturday. So the day after this is going to be posted, the eclipse in Aries. We have Saturn moving into Aries in May. We have Neptune moving into Aries sometime soon. I think Neptune moves into Aries first, or maybe not. I have to double check the transits. But essentially, what I'm saying is all of these energies are so tightly knit right now. And we have Mercury and Venus retrograde in Aries right now, too. Directly opposite whatever your Libra placements are. So there is a lot of like tension where what you may be feeling, depending on what planet it is, your sun, your moon, your north node, what do I say? Sun, moon, rising, north node. Depending on what planet it is, you can feel like there's a heavy weight pulling against either who you are as a person or how you feel emotionally or how you express yourself, how you feel in relationships, because if it's your rising, it's on the opposite end of that. If it's your north node, you could feel it's near your south node, so you could feel like you're reverting in some sense. So there's a lot of different ways this energy can be expressed, but in either way, it's like a tension. And when it comes to the Tower, it's sudden change. It's like the rug is pulled out from under you when you drop 30 feet. And as I say that explanation, it's reminiscent of dreams where you're falling, where it just feels like some dreams where it just feels like you're falling forever and then there's no end to it. That almost feels like how the Tower energy feels while you're in it. But luckily with the Tower, there is an end. It's just when you're in the chaos, it's hard to remember that. And I think with all of these other cards coming out, especially all of them being reversed, it's important you do tap into that remembrance of this is just now, this is not forever. And the deeper the transformation, the more chaotic it feels, it's because whatever's on the other side of this is truly meant for you. And everything that you currently have that does not align to who you are, oh, I'm lit up by chills right now, to who you are and who you need to be after all of this chaos, after all the dust settles, everything is shedding away that doesn't fit with where you're going next, who you are becoming, who you need to be in order to do the things you're going to do and become the person you're going to become. It's like lighting everything on fire that does not align. And if you were in a timeline, along a path, along a journey that really did not align for you, all of these different planets that are moving through Aries and Pisces right now are amplifying that. So as they move out of Pisces, it's almost like the fog that you may have felt, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. So it's almost like there was this dreamy sense of just like you are happy with where you were, I should say. You were happy with where you were or where you are right now. It's just not a place that was conducive to your growth. and you were just like yeah, you were happy going your day to day, but you weren't challenged, you weren't fulfilled. It was just like everything probably felt really mundane, but in a good way. It's not like you were struggling. It's not like you were having to force yourself to wake up and force yourself to go to your job. That's not the energy I'm getting here. It's just something you were content with. But you are meant for so much more, which is why we had the Tower and Judgment come out basically together. The Tower fell out, and two shuffles later, Judgment fell out. Both of them upright. And I think because Tower was facing me, so I could see it, and then Judgment was upside down when it fell out, so I couldn't see it. So I think right now you are so in the soup. You're in the midst of a lot of this chaos and a lot of this upheaval and changes. And I think it's going to start internally first, as these planets move into Aries, as we progress through April. It's going to start internally where the mundane isn't just gonna, it's not gonna cut it for you anymore. So you're going to get this like not necessarily dissatisfaction, but like an itch for something more. Oh, there's one of my neighborhood stray cats is in the backyard. So there's also like divine protection for you guys as well. And this curiosity, cats. And I love that phrase. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. And I think that's exactly the energy. Oh, I have chills. That's exactly the energy you're going to be moving through as you move through this Tower moment. Because you'll get this itch, right? You'll get this itch that you need something more. You need something new. You're craving newness. You've been too stagnant or too mundane or just too content for too long, and you're ready to be challenged again. You're ready to find that fulfillment. You're ready to be lit on fire in the best way. And so you start to make subtle changes internally. You start to alchemize internally and start to make choices in your day-to-day life that will slowly bring you into alignment with not only the person you need to be moving forward, but also other opportunities, other people that will help you get there. And so as you start to align with this version, oh, that feels good. As you start to align with this version of yourself, the things that were in alignment with the person who was content is going to start falling away. Maybe certain people or relationships that you would prioritize in your contentment doesn't necessarily fit in your schedule now as you prioritize yourself, which is exactly what we talked about in your last reading. How it's time for you to stop putting your focus on everybody else and start turning it back to yourself. It always comes back. But maybe there are certain people or friendships or relationships that aren't getting the same amount of attention from you as they used to in your contentment. And so they might be kicking, screaming, causing a fuss, calling you names, doing all like making a loud fuss, right? Um, and it's so important that you don't like jump back into those people pleasing tendencies, because if you try to jump back into what you know you're growing out of, that's going to cause more chaos. It's going to put delays on here, which I'll get to that in a second. Going to put delays on what you're cooking over here, and you're going to feel so torn inside by knowing you need to be stepping forward, but forcing yourself to step back in order to appease other people, in order to make other people feel seen or heard, or like justify their behaviors. And you are not meant to be the mediator right now. You are meant to truly focus on yourself. But with these other cards that are reversed, it's telling me there's going to be an internal battle of like trying to get there. Um, but I don't even think I got to what I was saying with awakening, because the awakening, the judgment card was upside down. So as the tower moment is happening, you're going to start to feel the shifts internally, start to make moves to change it externally. And it's going to be evident to you because the chaos, the upheaval, the drastic sudden changes will be apparent in your waking life. But what's going to be happening underneath all of that, something that's not going to be as apparent to you, is that judgment factor where you are alchemizing internally and you are truly coming into alignment with your potential highest purpose. And the judgment card is really like it's think of it like rapture day. When it comes to the time for, Jesus to come back, or whatever, all of our souls ascending, whatever it may be, when it comes time for that, do you want to be just content, or do you want to be in alignment with your highest self and your highest good? And that's where that judgment is coming in. And I love that those two cards came out together and came out first, especially because we'll get into all of these other reverse cards. And that's what I'm seeing, how I just described. You're going to have these triggers from what you're moving away from that makes you feel a sense of duty to whatever these triggers are. But that duty is ego. It's your ego trying to tell you you need to be the mediator. You need to be, if I'm not the person that steps in for this person, then who will? They will. They will step in for themselves. If you don't have like come and run and be that people pleaser and be that like fill the space that they are too scared to fill themselves. So again, all of the reverse cards are the Nine of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Star reverse. So again, you are going to feel so, and it's going to be challenging. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not going to be challenging to just take those steps forward and leave behind what needs to be left behind, because that's what I'm seeing here. It will be challenging, and I think you will kind of teeter back and forth until eventually you're going to notice that every time you take a step back and take your focus off of where you're going and what you are meant to be doing and try to appease or try to do whatever it is back here you think is undone, that's all burning away for a reason, for a reason. But you are going to try to like throw fire on the flame, right? You're going to try, you're over here and then you're seeing this is all up in smoke and you're like, oh, I have to go save them. Run, 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 throw fire, or not throw fire, throw water, throw water, throw water. But what you're not going to realize is the more you throw water, oh my God, it's an oil fire. So water's making it worse. And as you're focused over here, this is getting farther and farther and farther and farther and farther away. It's like drifting out into the sea, which makes it even harder to realign with those things that you are meant to be aligning with. And you're going to feel the sense of duty, but every time you take this step back, you're walking away from your potential success and your potential sense of celebration and the ability to actually be there for community in ways that make a true difference, because the Six of Crystal or the Six of Pentacles is about generosity. It's about having enough in your cup to pour unto others. Right now, you don't have that in your cup, and you're still trying to pour that water out onto others when you don't have it, because you need to be focusing on filling your cup for the future. With the Nine of Pentacles reversed as well, the more you focus on what is being left behind, the more you are getting away from your potential success, from your ability to celebrate your success, from being like moments away from the harvest to be able to pick that fruit, not only for yourself, but for the community. So the more you focus on what you're leaving behind, the more you are, it's like you have good intentions here. You have good intentions because you want to try to close all of these doors and make sure everything is squared away before you move forward with yourself. But you focusing on this is actually, let's put it this way. We'll use the fire as an example. If you take 3 steps over here, turn around, realize there's a fire. If in that exact moment you run back and you have a plastic water bottle, for example, you're like, I'll help. And you throw the water bottle on there. And then you're like, you don't know what to do because you have no other resources left. And you had good intentions, you did want to help, but this is a burning blaze that's like this big, and you have a water bottle that's this big. It ultimately did nothing. And your intentions meant nothing because there was truly no help to give. You can't good intention a fire away, right? Versus you're over here. You took your first 3 steps. You turn around, you see there's a big flame ablazing. You say, man, I wish I could help, but I don't have the resources to help others right now. So I'm going to continue along my path, gather my own resources, and then turn around. And once I have an entire fire company and the ability to access like fire hydrants, and I have the actual stability that I had because I didn't allow my focus to dwindle from this path and this important work that I'm doing for myself. The more you focus on yourself right now, the more you can garner resources to then bring back to the community to put out the fire. And it won't be too late. I don't want you to think that you walking away means like any help that you can offer in the future is for naught. That's not the truth here. And like I'm seeing this so clearly with these cards. It's almost like a what's that word? Like like an omen, I guess. It's not the word I want, but it's the best like thing I can get. This is almost like an omen that's saying if you try to go back before you have established this new path, like your intentions will mean nothing. Your intentions will mean nothing. And it's bringing up the phrase, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. And that's the thing too. And I like that I used fire and I'm bringing up this metaphor now. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. I just like got off on my brain disappeared for a second, but not only the path to hell for these people, but also your own path to hell, because you're going to be running back and trying to be the savior. And with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, it's going to cause delays in potential gains, potential fortunes, potential like lighting up the path. With the Star reversed, you're going to feel a sense of disharmony and disconnection with yourself, with your spirituality, with your ultimate truth, with your creativity. And then the Three of Wands reversed, it's like not being able to have the foresight to see how far you can go and how much more you can help others if you focus on yourself right now. And it really is that simple. Like it's laid out so clearly here. So Libra, again, I think it's okay when you start to see, like, when the chaos starts to ensue and you start to walk down this path. You're going to stray back once or twice or three times. You're going to try to put out the fires that you can before moving on. And it's so imperative that as you are putting your energy and trying to put out these fires, notice what happens to your other path that you were walking previously and use that evidence as proof that you cannot be putting your energy here for now. For now. Learn how to utilize your energy for your highest good right now, because you following your highest good right now, I just got chills again. You following your highest good right now will give you the opportunity to come back if you choose and you do have the choice. It will give you the opportunity to come back in the future to help the community, to do the things you want to do in this moment but don't have the capacity to do in this moment. Following this path gives you the capacity and then some, and the choice, and the freedom, and the authenticity, and the peace, and the harmony, and the foresight, and the fortune, and the success, and the generosity. Everything that is reversed is available to you further down this path, versus it's going to stay reversed and that tower moment's going to keep happening if you try to run back. Interesting. So the three cards that fell out upside down. So again, it's not necessarily an energy that's evident to you. The first card I saw was the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And the Five of Wands is about challenges, but not only about the challenge you face, but it's about your spirit's tenacity to overcome those challenges, to meet them head on and not stray away, to not be afraid to continue on. Because if we look at the suit of the Wands, after the challenges and after you find the ability to get through those challenges, you have the Six of Wands, which is being celebrated by your community. So we don't have the Six of Wands out here, but I think that key is important to tie in when the Five of Wands comes up, because people can get like not afraid of the Five of Wands, but it's an energy they don't want to deal with, especially as a Libra. You like harmony, you like peace, you don't like the adversity or the challenge of it, because challenge means chaos in some instances. But through challenge you find growth. Through challenge you find yourself. And through challenge and making it through that challenge, you are able to find that celebration with your community, with yourself, and be able to stand on your two legs. That's funny I just said that, because I said that and I looked down at this card, which is a horse standing on its back hind legs, its two legs. Um, Nothing's an accident. I'm pretty sure this card came out for somebody else too, one of the earlier readings I did, but the three cards that fell out that kind of reveal themselves after the challenge. I'll start with the Seven of Wands first. And it's interesting that I mentioned the Six of Wands. So we have the Five of Wands, that's the challenge and the growth that comes through the challenge. You have the Six of Wands, that's the celebration. But knowing there is still growth to be had. The Seven of Wands is about the determination. And again, it's that word tenacity. Both the fives and the sevens in most of the suits, the five and the sevens have a knack of tenacity to them. It's about overcoming the initial challenge, having that quick little bit of celebration, and then knowing, we're still not done yet. We're not at the 10 yet. We're still at the 7. There's still work to be done. So it's having that drive and that determination, that sense of spirit, that sense of like that passion to want to push through and continue on, and not just stay in the sense of celebration, be like, woo, yeah. Because I almost feel like the path you're on now, where I said it's like you're fine, it's content, it's not bad by any means. I feel that maybe in the past there was this sense of challenge and this sense of celebration that brought you to where you were, where you are. Hey, belly girl, that brought you to where you are. And then you just kind of stayed in that contentment because you loved the celebration. You loved the community that came with it. But again, there's no growth there. There's no growth. So the 5 with the challenge and then the 7, it's about having that stamina to continue to push through. Nope, don't drink my coffee. You do not need caffeine. Having the stamina to continue to push through. And then the other two cards that fell out were the King of Wands. Lots of Wands energy now that I'm thinking about it. The King of Wands, and then the Page of Cups. So these two together are such a potent, powerful energy here because the King of Wands is all about that sense of like the King of Wands is the very end of the wand suit. So you made it you started at the idea of the journey. You decided to step out on the journey. You used your foresight to kind of strategically plan out where you're going, but also you trusted in your intuition and your spirit enough to guide you through the process. So it wasn't only strategy. Strategy actually played a very little role. It was like this trust in your intuition to know that wherever you were guided is exactly where you needed to be. You go on your journey, you face the challenges, you get through the challenges, you have success, you know you're not quite done yet, so you continue on the journey. You have the Eight of Wands, and once you decide to continue on, it's very fast paced. And then the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands, you might get a little bit paranoid and start to pick up burdens that don't belong to you. But ultimately, once you get to the Ten of Wands, if you did pick up burdens that don't belong to you, it helped you end a cycle. And then you get to the page and the knight and the queen and then the king. And the king is that top, like that it's having the wisdom of the entire journey from start, from the idea to the completion. It's having being open enough to garner the messages that Page of Wands brought. Having the determination and the drive and the passion and the grit that the Knight of Wands offers, the creativity and the flow and the freedom of the Queen of Wands. So it's all of these things, and it's this sense of optimism for the future, because if you can make it through from Ace to King of Wands, you can do anything and you're ready to take on the rest of the suits in the tarot, the cups and the swords and the pentacles. But it's this sense of optimism and hope for what's to come. And not only that, this idea, like this sense of thriftiness, because you were able to make do only with your intuition, only with what the path ahead laid out for you. You didn't have to use any other, like you didn't have to buy anything. You didn't have any other tools. It was like this deep sense of trust that brought you through this entire journey. So it's like this really, really like this sense of pride, but not in an ego way. It's being proud of who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. And with the Page of Wands as well, it's being open to any of these divine messages that might come through from outside of yourself. So you are reconnecting with the star reverse that came out. There's a disconnect from your spirituality because you're not sensing that balance or harmony, and you're not really listening to your intuition or creativity to get to where you want to go. But with this Page of Cups upright, it's opening yourself back up to those divine messages and connecting back to your intuition. And honestly, the King of Wands, I would say the Queen of Wands a little bit more, but the King of Wands and the Page of Cups are both cards about intuition, because the Wands path is about tapping into your intuition and learning to trust your intuition and your spirit. And the Page of Cups is truly just listening to your intuition to guide you and not having your brain or anything else overthink it. It's being aware that even if it doesn't logically make sense, if my intuition is telling me something, I need to follow it. It's a messenger. All the pages are messengers, and that's really what that is. It's using your intuition to allow yourself to be inspired for the path forward as well. So, how that ties into earlier, it's so clear to me. It's so clear to me that if you are able to walk down this path that is connected to your highest good and your ultimate fulfillment, your ultimate abundance, you will be able to garner the resources you need, the community you need, the joy, the connection, and anything you might need that you think you are lacking right now that you wish you had in order to put out these fires right now, you are going to be able to come into. And then some, and then a connection to your intuition, and then a deeper sense of creativity, a deeper sense of optimism for the future. And not only for yourself, but optimism for the people and the places and the opportunities you have left behind, because they're not conducive to your growth. And I think that's the lesson here. It's learning to focus on yourself. This is the second month in a row, or maybe the third month in a row, Libra, that we've talked about this. Shifting the focus from people pleasing to what you truly desire and speaking on what you truly desire. So last month it was about speaking on what you desire. This month it's about taking action toward those things you desire. Even if you don't know exactly what it is, you just feel that itch. Use that itch as the determining factor to say, okay, this is not working anymore. Let's move forward. And then it's only up from there. It's only up from there. Libra. With all of that said, this was a general reading, so it is possible not everything resonated. If that is the case, you can check out my website linked in the description below, and there you can book with me for tarot, astrology, human design, and numerology readings. If you did like this reading at all, leave me a like and leave me a comment and let me know how it resonated. And of course, we do this every single month for all of the signs. So if you're interested in getting your forecast for the month ahead according to the tarot cards, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love, love, love to have you guys here in the future, Libras. I love you guys so much. And like Libras, you hold such a deep wisdom to you that I don't think enough people credit you for because you try to hide that wisdom from others because you like to be underestimated. I know, I know. You like to be underestimated, but use this wisdom to nobody's advantage but your own right now because you deserve to walk this path. What's on this path for you, only you will be able to discover that. But I'm excited for you to discover that. And I have chills again. Until next time.